Hello students, today I am going to begin chapter 4 of history, the creation of an empire. Here we will study about the Mughal rule. Previous chapter we have studied the Sultanate rule, that slave dynasty, Lodi dynasty, Balban, Tughlaq, all this we have studied. And as we know that Sultanate became weak. The Sultan dynasty, Sultan rule started by the slaves, Qutbuddin Aibak. Qutbuddin Aibak, he that formed the slave dynasty, and then he started the Sultanate, and then it became weak. Later on it became weak. Now because of that weakness of the Sultanate, as sultans became weak, many small and petty kingdoms declared independence. There was disunity among themselves, and many of the petty rulers, they declared independence. Then that opportunity was taken by the Mughal. It was an opportunity for the Mughals, seeing the disunity among the Sultanate, the weakness among the Sultanate, they thought of invading India. And thus the Mughal entered into India. The Mughal rule was founded by Babur. Babur established the Mughal Empire in India. He defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the first battle of Panipat, which was fought in 1526. First battle of Panipat was fought in between Babur and Ibrahim Lodi in 1526. And Ibrahim Lodi was defeated at the hands of the Mughal army, and then Babur entered into India, and later on he laid the foundation of the Mughal rule in India. Okay. He also defeated the Rajput king of Mewar, Rana Sangram Singh, at the Battle of Khanwa in 1527. 1526, in the first Battle of Panipat, he defeated Ibrahim Lodi, entered into India, established the Mughal rule. Then in 1527, he defeated Rana Sangram Singh of Mewar, Rajput, and then he extended the boundary of his kingdom, his empire. Then again in 1528, he defeated the Afghans at the Battle of Ghagra in 1528, and thus he could extend his empire from Delhi to Bihar. Alright, and then he laid the foundation of the Mughal rule in India. And he could not rule for a long time, for many years. So after Babur, his son Humayun became the ruler. Humayun ascended the throne of Delhi. Humayun fought against the Afghan rulers of Bihar. Then he fought against Sher Shah. You must have heard this name, Sher Shah. And then Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. Sher Shah of Bihar and Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. Then he defeated Sher Shah, and then he captured the fort of Chunar. Humayun captured the fort of Chunar after defeating Sher Shah. Then Mughal army, means when Sher Shah was defeated, Mughal army annexed his territory. Annexed means they brought his territory and joined to the Mughal territory, Mughal Empire. That is called annexed. Now, after Humayun, Sher Shah became, because Sher Shah again defeated many times Humayun and Sher Shah. There was a fight. Then finally Sher Shah defeated Humayun. Humayun defeated Sher Shah, again Sher Shah defeated Humayun, and then he brought Mughal territory. He captured the Mughal territory, and then he declared himself a ruler of the king of Delhi. That means he ascended the throne of Delhi. Babur founded the Mughal Empire. After Babur, his son Humayun became the ruler, and then in between Sher Shah became the ruler. Now, early name of Sher Shah was Farid. Sher Shah is well known for his reform activities. Many reform activities he had done. He introduced the system of Patta and Kabuliyat. Patta, land Patta. That system was introduced by Sher Shah. Then he constructed the Grand Trunk Road. He divided his empire into, his big empire, he divided into provinces and districts for the smooth running of administration. Then for various reform activities, Sher Shah is known in history of India. Then after the death of Sher Shah, his dynasty, which is called Sur dynasty, Sher Shah, after defeating Humayun, Sher Shah ascended the throne of Delhi. Then he established the Sur dynasty, S-U-R, Sur dynasty. Okay, so after the death of Sher Shah, Sur dynasty became weak. There was not so powerful powerful prince to ascend the throne, and so among the chiefs, among the petty rulers, there was disintegration, quarrel among themselves, because there was no one was so powerful to control them, because after the death of Sher Shah, the whole empire became weak because of the absence of any powerful ruler. And that opportunity once again was taken by Humayun. So he re-established the Mughal rule. He found that there is no powerful, Sher Shah is died, Sher Shah is no more. So other princes and other rulers are not so powerful, so it is very easy to recapture. And so once again he sent the army, he made an expedition, and then he re-established, he captured, and then he re-established the Mughal rule in India. But very soon he died. He could not live for long, he could not rule for long, and very soon he died. And after his death, his son Akbar became the emperor. Akbar ascended the throne of Delhi. Akbar became the Mughal ruler. Now, when Akbar ascended the throne, at that time he was only of 13. That means his age was only 13. So he was guided by one of the officers, and his name was Bairam Khan. He was one of the officers during the time of Humayun. So Bairam Khan used to guide him. He became the guardian of Akbar because he was too young at that time. Now in 1556, Akbar fought against Himu at the Battle of Panipat. So that was the second Battle of Panipat, which was fought in 1556 in between Akbar and Himu. And Himu was defeated. Though Akbar was young, he was only of the age of 13, but he was guided by Bairam Khan. And so, in the second Battle of Panipat, which was fought in between Akbar and Himu, in the battle, Himu was defeated by Akbar. Akbar was very thoughtful. He was not conservative in his religion. He used to give high post to the Rajput because he knew without the support of Rajput, he will not be able to extend his empire. To extend his empire, he needs the support and the goodwill of the Rajputs. And that is why he himself married Rajput princess, and Rajputs were given high post. His revenue officer, his revenue minister himself was a Rajput. And his court was, he was a patron of art and literature. He was a patron of culture. And in his court was adorned by 9 jewels. And these 9 jewels are well known. Some are literate person. So you must be knowing in your book you will get all the 9 names that are called 9 gems or 9 jewels. They were adorned in the court of Akbar. And Akbar, he was very religious person, and he was not at all orthodox, only strict to his own religion. No, he was not. So by taking all the good points from the different religions, he propounded one new religion called Din Ilahi. So in Din Ilahi propounded by Akbar, there was all the good things and good sayings, good points of all the religions collected from all the religions, and then he made a new religion called Din Ilahi. But he never forced anyone to accept his religion. It was completely on one's wish. If anyone wanted to accept his religion, he was free to accept, but he never forced anyone to accept this religion propounded by him. Okay, children, today we'll do up to here. Next time, the rest I'll do. Okay, thank you.